Yeah, thank you so much. Fine, guys. Let me know if you have any query from yesterday's session. And Samar, I got a query. He was asking for hands-on and recording. So I have forwarded that hands-on and recording to our support team, and they need to work on that. After that, they will upload on the LMS. You can find that recording over LMS only. Fine. So these are the today's agenda. Today we are going to cover Hive, some Hive commands and some Hive operations, and also we'll be executing one project with the help of Hive. Fine, fine, guys. Let me know if you have any query from yesterday's session. Samar, as per your query, you want me to explain the assignments. Okay, at the end of the session, I will explain how you can do that assignments. Okay, and any query from yesterday's session. Let's quickly recap whatever topics we covered yesterday. So yesterday mainly we was concentrating on introduction to big data. Then we gone through with Hadoop and we executed MapReduce program as well, right? So different size of data. Then we cover what is Hadoop. Sorry, what is big data. Then need of more and more data. We have seen some characteristics of big data. Then we move to our types of data and some application of big data, right? Like what are the domains where we can implement this big data technology, then industry who are making most of the big data, right? And introduction to Hadoop and necessity of Hadoop and ecosystem. And we have good example for understanding Yan. Let me know if you have any query. Then architecture, HDFS, some blocks we are seeing. We have seen some example as well. Practically, we have seen what is block, right? And replication as well. After that, we move to our MapReduce, right? So, any query, guys, from these slides? Look like no any other query, so we can process further. So, let's start with today's agenda. So today we are going to cover module 2. In module 2, we will be concentrating on basically Hive. Okay, and these are the course objective which we are going to cover today. We'll be seeing like Hive introduction first, then what is Hive, and there are some limitation of Hive. Then we'll be concentrating on Hive architecture. After that, we'll be seeing the data types in Hive, means what are the data types we can use, right? Then we'll see some hands-on Hive commands, and join is possible in Hive. Then we'll execute one project. Fine, guys. Okay. And before we start this session, I would like to know: do you have knowledge of SQL? Have you ever execute any SQL query like select hashtag like that? Yeah, thanks for response, Anu. And Sama says why Hive choose means actually Hive is easy to understand first, and we at least we have basic knowledge of SQL. So I feel this Hive is a good component for learn the big data, right? That's why we have taken Hive component for this Hadoop Kickstarter course. Okay, so if you have knowledge on SQL, how we can execute the query, then it will be really easy to understand to work with Hive, right? Okay, so let's start. What is Hive, right? So we can say Apache Hive is a data warehouse, right? Data warehouse is nothing but we'll be having one place there we can store huge amount of data. So in Hadoop, Hive will act as a data warehouse, but one condition is there. If we'll talk about data warehouse, it's not mean we will work Hive as a data warehouse, right? We will take Hive as a data warehouse. No, as per our requirement, this Hive will act as a data warehouse. Means we will store huge amount of data over Hive and execute our query as per our requirement. Fine. And Hive is built on top of Apache Hadoop. Means Hive is one of the component from Hadoop, and it provides the analysis of data and summarize of data, and we can execute some query. We'll be seeing some hands-on as well. Okay, and Hive gives interface like SQL. That's why I was asking, have you ever execute SQL command? Okay, means how we are executing query over SQL in same way we can execute query in Hive. Okay guys, and here we can store the data and process as well. Fine. One thing is there, actually whenever we will be having structured data, in that condition only we can use Hive. Fine. Suppose you will be having unstructured data, like it's a kind of files like video, mp3, text, lots of things. In that scenario we need to use like MapReduce or other component pig we can use. But whenever we will be talking about Hive, that time it should be data in structure format, right, in the form of row and column. Okay, so these are the basic introduction about Hive. Okay, any query from this slide? So slowly we will be moving to our next slide because we have sufficient time today. So let's understand in depth. Okay, so any query on Hive? And guys, in case if you want to talk to me, I can unmute you, and we can interact through voice as well. Okay, now what is Hive? Same thing, whatever things I have explained in introduction to Hive, same thing we can see over here, but in different point. Like Hive is query engine wrapper built on top of MapReduce. Means actually we have one process to work with MapReduce, right? Like key and value pair. But one disadvantage there with MapReduce. If you are from SQL background or you don't know much about Java, so in that case it is very difficult to write a Java code, right? So in that scenario we can use Hive. So Hive, so we can say Hive is a query engine wrapper built on top of MapReduce. And once I will run the code, that time you can see what MapReduce process will happen, right? So better that time we'll discuss further, like how we can say this Hive query engine wrapper built on top of MapReduce. Okay, now second point, it is data warehousing tool for ecosystem. As I was explaining, Hive will act as data warehouse tool. Fine. Then it provide Hive QL, which is similar to SQL. Means here we should not say we are executing SQL query. Whenever you will be using Hive, that time we should use this term. We are using Hive QL. We can say HQL. Okay, so hope this is understanding for you. Then Hive was developed by Facebook and was contributed to community. Means actually in Facebook they are generating big data, and they was facing some issue, like once they got the data as a form of table, row and column. So they was thinking how we can, like how we can execute our query, or how we can analysis the data. So they need something to work on that. That's why they develop one component called Hive. Then Hive came to the market, and now it's really booming, this component. Okay, so fine guys, now you understand like what is Hive. Okay, fine. Now limitation of Hive. So guys, we know there is a limitation for everything. We have some limitation of MapReduce as well. We have some limitation of Hadoop, right? So same way we have some limitation in Hive. Okay, let's see what's that. So first, Hive does not support outer joins. Okay, in Hive it is possible to perform join operation, like full join, inner join, outer join, lots of join is there. But in Hive it is not possible to perform outer joins. This is a limitation. Okay, next, Hive does not support row level update and delete. However, in this case, data can be entire overwritten or append. Let's understand what's that. We are talking about Hive. Okay, suppose we have one data set. Let's assume serial number, then name, then course. Okay, serial number 1, name, let's take Hadoop. I should take another name, like my name is Nilesh, and course like Hadoop. Then second, so we have Anup as well, and he's very much comfortable with Linux. Okay, then Samar. So Samar is learning big data, so let's write big data. Okay, assume we are going to upload this data into Hive. Okay, so once we'll upload the data into Hive, we can't change. In case you want to update anything, like here, if I want to update Hadoop technology, okay, Linux framework, okay, big data, let's leave it, big data. So if we want to update our data set, once we upload it on Hive, it is not possible, right? And if you want to update any data, so what you can do, you need to delete your previous data and upload your updated data, then just execute your query. Fine guys, so is it clear, this second point? Hive does not support rollable updates and deletes. Okay, fine. Next, Hive does not replace an OLTP. Right, OLTP means online transfer process. So it can't process, it can't replace OLTP system. And last point is there, Hive does not support real-time query. Guys, I'm expecting some response for these 2 points. Hive does not replace an OLTP system, and Hive does not support real-time queries. So just give me an example of OLTP system or like real-time query. Anything guys? Any example? Hive does not support real-time query. Okay, fine. So I have a good example. That example is ATM. Fine. Suppose tomorrow you're going to any ATM and just get some money. Assume you will be having 10,000 rupees in your account, and you transaction you have done the transaction around 1,000 rupees, okay, from ATM. So once you get money from ATM, that time only it will reflect to your amount of your account. So you'll be having 9,000 rupees, right? This is called real-time query. So as per limitation of Hive, Hive does not support real-time queries. Fine, guys? Any query on this point? Okay. So these are the limitation of Hive. So guys, just let me know if you have any query. Okay, Anup, Samar, Nadeem, Rajesh, Yogesh, Vivek, any query? Samar says, what mean the point before last one? Samar, hope you are asking from this point. Hive does not replace an OLTP system, right? So just take same example. Which example? Our ATM one. Okay, so they having some system for work on real-time query, that's called OLTP system. So Hive is not going to replace OLTP system. So that is the meaning of that point. Okay, fine, Samar. Fine. Then let's concentrate on Hive architecture, like how Hive work with Hadoop, we can say. So there are lots of things which first we need to understand, like some JDBC. JDBC is nothing but our database connectivity with Java, and Hive ODBC driver, and lots of things. You can see CLI and some driver and file system, job client, master store. So best what I can say, once we are going to work with Hive, so you need to have some driver which connect your database and Hive. Let me open my notepad. Hive. Okay. So you will be having some data. Okay, and you want to store that data into your Hive table. So we need to have something in between. So we need to have driver. That driver will support you to connect your database, your data to Hive. Then you can able to store your data into Hive, right? So just try to understand the flow, right? Just concentrate on this image, like CLI, Hive server, or like Hive web interface. So we'll be having something. So in between, we will be having some driver which help you to store the data on like Hive table or Hive database, right? And that will take like Hadoop cluster. Hadoop cluster means where we can store the data. Fine. So as you need to store the data on Hive table for execute some query. So you will be having one driver. That driver will help you to transfer your data or connect your data between your storage system. That's it. Fine, guys. And we need actually there are lots of things for connect the database, we can say. So we can use JDBC. You can use Hive ODBC driver. Fine. Or a Hive thrift client we can use. Fine, guys. So these are the mechanism of Hive. Okay. So any query on that? Once we'll execute one command, then it will easy to understand. Okay, I'm getting some query. That query from Anup. Anup says, uh, 1 minute, Anup. How we can define the driver, or how we'll come to know which driver we are going to use. So don't worry about that. We are using Hadoop 2.x. In 1.x, we used to define lots of things like resource manager and some, because that time Yarn was not there. So in Hadoop 1.x, we need to manually work with something like resource manager and driver, and pig also we need to work with driver. But in Hadoop 2.x, you should not bother about driver. I will take care that part. Fine. So once we'll execute that command, it will be easy to understand. Okay, guys. Okay. And after that, let's see what's there. Yeah, high components, right? Same thing we was talking, like we'll be having some compiler, then driver, then cell, then meta store, and execution engine. Okay, so I'm just opening my notepad and let's try to understand what's there. So compiler means you will be having one data, you need to store on Hive. So some compilers should be there, and they need to understand what kind of data we have. That compiler will help you. Let's take an example. You have one data. Suppose data is in integer, right? We are just transferring our integer data into Hive table. So something should be there for understand. Like just explain the data is integer. So that time compiler will come to the picture. Fine. Then driver, as we just now we discussed, what is the work and responsibility of driver?